It is not all proms and pom-poms. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 darkest teen drama shows.
Okay, grab everything! The pictures, the baby clothes, and throw them in the fire. Say goodbye to your soul.
And I walk these streets, a load of 6-string on my back.
Are you a fan of Supernatural? Click here and sign in with your Google or Facebook account and take a new trivia quiz on WatchMojo.com. It's pretty hard, but get it right and you could win a collectible box from Culture Fly, loaded with exclusive Supernatural toys, accessories, and apparel. Click here or follow the link in the description. For this list, we're looking at TV series specifically aimed at an adolescent audience that feature morbid or mature plotlines.
I didn't know where we were going or when I was going to kill her, but I punched my dad in the face and stole his car, and that felt like a good place to start.
Number 10, The Vampire Diaries.
Game on.
What? It might be a show about vampires, werewolves, and everything in between, but when it comes down to its core, The Vampire Diaries is a show about the darkest of humanity's moments and the forces that drive people. Following Elena and the Salvatore brothers, Stefan and Damon, the show pushes its characters to their limits, often so far that they become terrible, primal versions of themselves.
I'm sorry.
With blood and gore to the max, the most terrifying thing about this show is how its characters can be good one minute and evil the next.
Tip for later. Be careful who you invite in the house.
Number 9, Degrassi, Next Class.
Dude, you just got out of psychiatric hospital. You were diagnosed with depression and ODD.
That's not fair, okay? He's better.
For now, but he's basically just a ticking time bomb.
The Degrassi universe has been a staple in teens' lives for several generations, with the show often mirroring real-life issues young people were facing at the time. With the newest take on the series being aimed at Generation Z, the show fits in nicely with this trend.
Mr. Simpson said we're allowed to protest out here.
And you are, if you do it quietly.
If we do that, no one will hear us.
No, chill, okay?
Degrassi Next Class tackles things like mental health issues, homophobia, and addiction. There are a few things the show shies away from, resulting in a program that people can look to when they come up against similar situations. With such an approach, Degrassi Next Class firmly cements itself as a classic for another era of teens.
She needs to go to the hospital, now.
But we'll all get in trouble.
She'll be fine here.
No, she won't. She has some pretty serious health problems.
Number 8, Misfits.
So why do you think he did it? Why did Curtis blow his brains out in a disused factory?
The British program follows a group of young adults who are sentenced to community service for their crimes, and who shortly gain superpowers thereafter. So you know you're in for a ride. It's a show that teeters on the edge of darkness for so long that when it finally falls into it, it's almost a relief. Suspenseful and not afraid of hiding behind niceties, Misfits is a social commentary about classicism and the ways some people deal with issues in their lives, whether it be bullying or familial problems. Thankfully, Misfits has a sharp sense of humor that balances out the heavy themes.
Now, I'm not saying we have, but what would happen, hypothetically speaking, if it came to light that we may have killed 1 or 2 people?
Number 7, Sweet Vicious. With the rise of the hashtag #MeToo movement, there has never been a more relevant time for young adult television to explore sexual harassment and assault.
Let me get one thing straight. I told you to stop, and I told you no, and you did this. You put your hand over my mouth and you raped me.
Sorority sister Jules looks like she has it all, but in truth, she lives a double life, dealing out punishment as a vigilante against those who sexually assault women on campus.
Not so funny now, is it?
With Ophelia, a hacker, at her side, the two take on responsibility for the protection and punishment of their classmates. Considering how many women will experience sexual violence throughout their lifetimes, it is a timely reminder that the justice system so often fails those who need it.
Because you don't carry this like I do. And I hate you for that.
Number 6, Riverdale. The town of Riverdale seemingly has more secrets than it does residents, and for Archie and his friends, unraveling them is essential after their classmate Jason goes missing.
Riverdale police dragged Sweetwater River for Jason's body, but never found it.
If he is dead, Hal, I hope in those last moments he suffered.
It's a season-long mystery that is only uncovered one clue at a time, as Archie and co. find out how their lives and the lives of their families intersect with some of the most horrific crimes to ever shake the town.
He was shot.
Not shying away from violence or disaster, the show isn't afraid of putting its characters in positions where they have to reconsider everything they know about the people around them.
What is that smell?
Gasoline. It's the only way we can truly start over, be purified.
Number 5, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Local authorities have issued a written statement, I should say, blaming recent flu vaccinations. A few skeptics call it a citywide hoax. In the meanwhile, Sunnydale has effectively shut down. All schools and businesses will be closed for the time being.
Where would the world be without Buffy? Definitely one of the most iconic shows of all time. It introduces us to the idea of a girl fated to save the world, whether she liked it or not. While the show was remembered for its Monster of the Week episode arcs, featuring vampires and other demonic forces, the show only really began to tap into the darkness in later seasons, where characters had to face their personal demons.
Tell me that I'm wrong, please. Please don't forgive me.
With several characters succumbing to evil for brief periods, the series altered audience conceptions of who was good and who was bad.
Don't do that! Oh, I think I do that.
Angel?
He's not Angel anymore.
Number 4, Pretty Little Liars. When a persistent anonymous stranger threatens to expose all their secrets, 4 young women have to learn to face their mistakes and risk their entire lives being turned upside down. This is a show about young adults dealing with the disappearance of their best friend, while also trying to keep their lives together, and it surprised audiences with the depth of emotion that it touches upon as the characters fight for the right to live normal lives.
Do you even want to be saved? I know how I treated people. I deserved a lot of what I got.
While never innocent, the 4 liars are nevertheless undeserving of at least some of the horrors A puts them through.
Ask if you were okay, but just not talk about what we just went through. At least not until we get out of here.
Number 3, Skins.
I'm not scared! I'm not scared! Come on!
Skins was one of the first UK shows to put teen issues at the forefront of mainstream pop culture, in a way that forced audiences to consider teenagers beyond the stereotypes that surrounded them.
You have to be quick.
Why?
Because I took a shitload of pills.
Each episode follows one of the characters and deals with issues that range from eating disorders to sexual identity. The show puts characters in positions where they have to deal with the consequences of their actions or inactions.
He qualified to be a dad. Don't know what they do.
It also proves that adults are not always to be trusted, with characters often coping with neglect or abuse from their parents. Thankfully, while it is quite grim, there is a sense of humor that cuts through what would otherwise be quite depressing.
She really does love you, you know. Okay, come on. Let's open the door, yeah?
Number 2, The End of the F***ing World.
We can't stay here.
Nope.
We can't go home.
No.
17-year-old James thinks he might be a psychopath. With killings of various animals under his belt, a hobby he's had since he was a child, James is curious about what would happen if he turned his focus from animals to humans.
I was gonna kill something bigger. Much bigger.
He decides that Alyssa, one of his schoolmates, will be the perfect victim. But things don't turn out as he has expected, and the two of them end up in places that neither had imagined, running from the police, entangled with a rapist, and ultimately responsible for a man's death. It's almost more than anyone can handle, and the show is unapologetic about that.
You okay?
What?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Number 1, 13 Reasons Why.
Get a snack. Settle in. Because I'm about to tell you the story of my life. More specifically, why my life ended.
It's not often a show causes as much controversy as 13 Reasons Why did upon its release. With suicide, bullying, and sexual assault as major themes of the show, it was hailed as being a breath of fresh air for so openly dealing with those issues. But it was also lambasted for portraying them in an insensitive way.
They take one photo and it defines you, and then it becomes your job to prove everyone wrong. This is what they did to Hannah, and now they're doing it to me.
In this look into the reasons behind Hannah Baker's suicide, various characters caught in the aftermath must deal with their emotions as well as how their actions impacted on other people, forcing audiences to consider the repercussions of their own lives.
Because that's the kind of school that this is. Everyone is just so nice until they drive you to kill yourself. And sooner or later, the truth will come out.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.